Hi guys, this is Jules. I want to share a project that I finished. This is a wall hanging. Um, I guess well, yeah, it's a wall hanging layout, I guess you can say. Otherwise I wouldn't put this ribbon on there. um, I made this particular wall hanging for ER. So Miss Ellen Rose, this is for you, my friend. I have some of your things in a box and they're just about ready to go out to you. And yeah, I just wanted to include, of course, a handmade gift. And I just came up with this a couple of days ago and I'm just so glad that it just came together. So I want to share it with you. First thing is that I used corrugated cardboard, and it's a recycled piece from a box that I had. I have tons of boxes and I need to cut up, but I have a lot of it. I should probably share some of that. What I did is I cut this into, it wasn't like premeditated, the size. It's a 7 by 5 1/4. Yeah, 5 1/4. And I sprayed it down with Preserve It. And I showed you guys on a tutorial how to use this. And this is basically to just make your recycled items, paper products and stuff that's not acid free, just to make them acid free, and they'll be preserved for a lot longer than they would normally be. I will share on the annotations which number tutorial or which number video the tutorial is on, so that you guys can go over and watch it if you haven't seen it. So there's also something called acid free. So this one's called Preserve It by Krylon. The other one is acid free. I believe it's also from Krylon, and this is a gloss, has a gloss finish to it. You can also spray it on digital photos, which is awesome. So, okay, what I did is I sprayed it down on both sides. You see how it has a kind of a glossy look on there. Then I painted the one side all black with black acrylic paint, and then I cut out the Tim Holtz style labels, and I cut out the caged bird, and then I set that aside. I painted those black except for the bird. I left that alone, but I painted the label black. I painted the caged bird black. I set it aside, and then I was given a gift quite a while ago, and I don't remember who gave it to me, but I wanted to say thank you, because these I love. It's a little packet of some old bingo cards, really old bingo cards, and they're all yellowed, but I ended up using some more of the old paper distressing to, oh no, I think I used antique linen or vintage photo to make this one on the wall hanging just a little bit darker, just around this area here. So I painted it all black, the cardboard here, and I peeled some of the edges back. You can see some of the corrugations showing, and I wanted to do that because it gives it a more rustic look, a more vintage look. That's what I like. So I did that. I peeled it back, and then I used some distress ink. I think I used vintage photo on it, and just kind of rubbed it around the actual cardboard to give it the just that stained look. So then what I did too is I grabbed a Prima stamp that I have that's chicken wire. And I don't have like opaque ink stamps at all. I have like, I have some of the Stampin' Up! Stamps. I have some, I can't remember what they're called now. I have like some Anna Griffin stamps that are pigment. I have some pigment ones, but I don't know. I didn't think of using it, but I don't know. I guess I'll try it next time. But I wanted to do like, okay, a stamp that would show up on black, the black cardboard on the paper here. So I used my acrylic paint and I painted it on the stamp, and then I stamped the image with the paint onto the cardboard. So it has that chicken wire. Let me see, put the macro on real quick. But move my light. And so I have some of the, you can see there, it's showing some of the chicken wire stamp showing. There's a little piece back here where the bird is. A tiny bit there. Some back here. You can see some behind the bird cage. So I just kind of made it blotchy and stamped it everywhere. And then I added the bingo card after I distressed it, and I spritzed it a little bit with vintage pink glimmer mist. Then I cut out a set of the letters, the Tim Holtz Vintage Market letters, and I actually, these are in craft paper because I was gonna do it in just craft with the color, with the original color of craft, but I ended up using black soot to make it pop out more. And so because I was gonna use the craft on top of black, but then I decided to paint the green on there and add some of the gold on there, which is rub and buff, which is what I used all the way around, the gold paint looking stuff back here and all the way around the edge of that, on the bird too. That's all rub and buff. But since I did that, I thought maybe the black, if I did black soot or black lettering, it would just pop up better. And then I used glossy accents to make it stand out the way that it is. So it makes, kind of gives it a, I don't know if you can see, it doesn't stand out that much, but it'll stand, it pops this way. So that's what I did with that. And then I used some Prima Bling in 3 different spots here. So I used it here and down here on the lace and a little bit of it up here. And I like how the bling comes out because it's very blinged out. There's bling all the way across the bottom of the cage, on the top, and down here. And I used a green gem, an eye rock gem for the eye. And this beautiful flower was made by Miss Donna. Hi, Donna. And she's card maker 123, and she actually like crocheted or knitted. I can't remember what it's called, which one it is, but she crocheted, I guess it's crocheted, this out of satin ribbon, you guys. And there's a lot of people out there that are doing it, and it's just an awesome thing to, a new craft thing that people are doing, which is great. I love it. I fell in love with this flower, and I asked her if she was selling them. She said no, but she was going to send me some. So she did. She made me a packet of like 6 or 8 of them and sent me that little, a cute gift, just a sweet gift, with an awesome tag and some beautiful lace that I'm in love with lace. And anyways, thank you so much, Miss Donna, because I wanted to use this flower for something so bad and hadn't had the right project to do it yet. So I was glad to use it here on this. So, oh my gosh, Miss Ellen Rose ER, you're gonna love this flower when you see it. It's just, video doesn't do it justice at all. Let me do a little bit more close up here so you guys can see. I did do a little bit of black soot on there. I probably should have used vintage photo, but I did. I like the grunge and vintage look anyway. So see, there's a flower. It's just beautiful. And then I use this ribbon that is striped, of course, and just tied a knot in the center of it, and I just attached it behind the flower. I don't know why I use ribbon. I just did. I just wanted to. So, and then I did some alcohol ink on this, which was silver, this crown with the bling in the center. That is actually a magnet that is used on metal picture frames, and I really like it. So I just added some chipboard because of the magnet. It was going to stand kind of at an angle, and I didn't want it to, so I had to add some little strip of chipboard back there to make it stand even on the layout. My lace here, I used some of the black, let me pull out there. I used some black lace down here, and then some of my dark olive green lace in the center of it, so it's just double layered. And a chocolatey colored feather. And I forgot to add it before I attached the flower, and I forgot about it, and I ended up attaching it after, but it still looks okay. It's not bad. This is a Graphic 45 cutout that I used. I distressed the edge of the paper here and used black soot for the edges. And Miss Scrapalicious Leo, hi Miss Leonie. She sent me a little folder of, oh my gosh, all these cute. She made all these stick pens. And she sent me these ones. She made me all kinds of them, and she sent them to me, and I love them. So I grabbed that one because I felt like it was just calling for one of these stick pins, so I used it for that. And Prima Bling. Rub and buff back on top of the black painted cardboard too. What else? Oh, okay, so I painted this black, and then I just did a dry paint with some sage green, some olive green or sagey green. Then the ribbon buff all around, a little bit of smearing there, then I put the letters on. The effect that for the cage and the bird is really interesting. I didn't know what to do at first with it, but I wanted to give it some sort of texture. I didn't want to leave it just, you know, colored with an ink or just painted a plain color. So what I did is that I used Mod Podge for the bird, and I attached French vintage paper. I attached it, then I used some ribbon buff for just lightly on top of the body and the wing, and still allowing, let me just put the macro back on. I wanted to have the French, like the lettering from the paper to show, and you can see it there. I love that. I like how it came out. And then and then I did a UT effect on it. So I did the Versamark stamp. I Versamarked it all over, and then I dipped it in UT and melted it so it has a high gloss on there. And then on the cage, if you can see, I painted it black. I used some Perfect Medium on a stamp, the floral stamp. This image that you see, that's a floral stamp that I have. And then I stamped it on top of the cage. And then I used some Pearl-Ex, that's a dual green and yellow, and put it all over onto the cage, and it picked up on the stamp. And then I used a little bit of hairspray to set it. Oh, I cut the legs and the branch off of the bird, and did away with the legs because I wanted him to fly. Of course, he's not in the cage, he's free. And then I used the branch actually for, like, you know, the little stick that they stand on in their cages. I just left it in the cage. So it's elevated with this piece of chipboard, and there's another piece behind the very top part here. And then I did the Versamark stamp on top of, after I sprayed it with hairspray, I did the Versamark all over the Birdcage, and then I did a UT effect on it as well, so that it looks like it's glass, and you can see the glittery Pearl-Ex on there. I love that effect. It's just, it just kind of came. I mean, I know people have done it before, but I didn't think of doing it until way later. I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that. I could do that. And I didn't want to leave it plain. I didn't want to leave it just black. At first I was gonna, but I decided not to, and I'm glad that I didn't. I'm glad that this came to mind. Thanks to whomever inspired me to do that. I don't know if I saw it somewhere or what, but different techniques out there. You can just combine them and you get something pretty. So I really like how this came out. It's beautiful. It's not like it has a whole lot to it, but it just has enough. And I think that, well, I'm proud of it. I really am proud of it. I feel like with each project that I do and I complete, I'm learning something new, and I want to pass that down. So if you guys have any questions on any of it, let me know, because I would be glad to mention it and answer your questions. So here I did a extra large eyelet in black that Miss Arlene gave me. Thank you, Arlene. I appreciate it. I had asked her one time where she buys it, and she gave me the name of a website. I can't remember now what it is, but anyways, yeah, so she gave me the name of a website, and she sent me a couple packets that she had from her stash, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Then I grabbed some satin ribbon that I bought not too long ago from the dollar bin at Michael's, and just tied it in a knot in the back. A tip, just so that you guys know, if you use eyelets, and this is We Are Memory Keepers, but if you use an eyelet that leaves little sharp edges, I use like my glue gun and smooth it out, and then I use it in between the knot of ribbon that, well, this ribbon that didn't want to stay knotted, and let it dry between, and it's got hard, and now it doesn't come out, so it's there. So okay, Miss Ellen, I'm gonna send this to you, and thanks you guys for watching. I just wanted to share with you. You guys have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Jules signing out. Bye guys.